Go!
Hello and welcome back to the Geek Initiative.
I'm sorry, I felt like I had deliberately held it. Because I just thought it would be perfect comedic timing.
Thank you for joining us for part 3 of episode 19, Interview with Dhampir.
You better have given us bits.
Oh, the subs have happened.
A gifted subscription has been given by Atomic Crusade to Brick 32.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Atomic.
Very kind of you.
You get a nice Alana round.
It's Jazzicon.
Alana round.
So, we are ready to go back in with a concluded fight. Yes, but the barkeep hangs his hammer back up and looks amongst the two of you, and you're young. It was a good fight.
Cheers. Although I get the feeling that someone interfered and like put a sour note on it.
I couldn't see, but
It's all right.
it's not possible for a reasonable man to do lethal damage here. I wouldn't ever worry.
It's all right.
It's a safe space.
Right, we'll get him. I think we'll get him later.
Did it at least tickle?
I would hate to lie to you. I should see you later.
Cheers for the fight, anyway.
Have a drink on the house.
Oh, cheers.
He pulls an ale towards you.
That was
So
interesting.
I mean, it was interesting. I mean, to be fair, I've got some questions about that hammer. It seems might have something special to it, to be fair, as well. Be interested to hear about where he got it and...
Oh, a story for another time.
I look forward to it.
But, oh, does it hit me? Another time. And we're going to cut to what was happening during the fight, which was Malcador and Sam left alone with our dear boy,
Ian.
Danny.
Strain you up. He won't live another Cut me up. Buttercup.
I hate you so much. So much. And you probably don't understand why, but I know why, and that's enough for me.
Is that to Sam?
I know what that is. I know what you've done. You don't know what you've done, but I know what you've done.
There's a little bit of that going on.
So he looked. You did say yes. That it was something I hadn't done yet, but you had experienced, which begs the question: how that has happened, given the strict progression and flow of time.
Time isn't strict and it doesn't flow. You can punch holes in it, which I've found. Because despite the best efforts of your school, I'm actually a success. Do you understand? Do you have any idea what it's like to go through your life being judged on your ability to climb a tree when you're a fish?
Yes.
Well, so do I.
I'm sorry, it's just that you finished it on a fish trying to climb a tree.
Yeah, it's okay.
You didn't expect the yes.
No, I didn't. Yes.
My whole life I've been told that I'm not good enough at what I'm doing and that I should be doing a different thing. But I've always tried to persevere, but I don't seem to be getting anywhere.
It's one of those, it happened to me, therefore I will do it to others.
No, I would wish it on no one. I promise you, you mentioned a school. If I ever have any involvement in a school, I will do my very best.
Empty words. Empty words. And you know how I know they're empty words? Because I went to your fucking school. You founded the magical college that I went to. Because I always wanted to be a wizard. Because I had all this latent magical boom tendency in me that we could never harness in any real way. Which meant I spent 12 years at this school being poked and prodded and experimented on by these people who were intent on, because I was at this magical school, ensuring that I learn and practice magic. Malcolm has not, he's given up pretending anymore. This is a small localized fireworks display above.
At what point can we decide? Let me know.
Look, I am a self-taught alchemist, precisely because of the fact that I tried to become a wizard, and I spent 12 years at this school trying to learn magic in the way that it was being taught to me. But I could never learn magic in the way that it was being taught to me, because it was all very one speed, this is how you do it. And if for whatever reason you couldn't do it that way, you got left behind and shunted back and shunted back and shunted back. I was a 30-year-old man in a class of 8-year-olds trying to learn a basic light spell. Do you have any idea how degrading that is?
Yes.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to ask someone to go prom.
Well, you could. But
I've spent a very, very long time trying to master the teleportation circle, and I've never been able to. Salamina, the black stuff.
Other spells though, can't you? You can do other bits of magic. You say the words command and you move your hands around like you're supposed to, and you do the ridiculous incantations and use the magical effects and the bits that come with it, and you can just go, and things manifest to your will. Do you know what I can do? None of that. I say the word magic and there's a loud big flash, and that's it. That's all I can
Maybe,
stop flashing.
Maybe I can help.
Sam's donned sunglasses.
Sam's sat facing the other way. Maybe I can help you. I'm not really good at learning, but maybe I'm good at teaching. Maybe that's why I found a school.
If my time at your school was anything to go by, you couldn't teach for shit. Because you may not have been there when it happened, but you're certainly responsible for the way that I was taught. You did not teach that druid bitch anything about magic that stuck with her in the way that she was teaching me, because all she did was go, well, you're incapable, back down the years you go. Oh, it's Malcador again. Let's see how he's going to fail his final examination this time. Still only got one spell, Malcador. Let's hear it. Magic. Fail. Back you go.
I understand. I don't have it quite as bad as you do, but I do understand, and I want to help if I can prevent it.
You see, this is why I'm an alchemist, because you can't take that away. And you can't train that out of me either. Like, I have my ways of making my potions, I know they work, and they have exactly the same effect as if I did all this stupid wand with this hand-waving and using a magical implement, saying the words of command and everything, but instead I bottle it, and I throw it, and it does exactly the same thing.
And that's okay.
Is Sam going to give him a hug? Because he really needs it.
So what you're saying is Malcador's bottled it up for me?
No, sir. He
He really has. Really?
D4, fuck you.
Yeah. PvP D4.
It's 4, it was worth it.
It was worth it.
And no matter how much you try to get me to do it her way, the herbalist way, no, because the herbalist way doesn't work. It does not work.
Magic is the weave, the interconnecting
Yes, the
threads.
interconnected nature of fate, what we do, it's verbatim. It is verbatim from the way that I've been taught. You wrote your words down and they were regurgitated at me 12 times over those years. Magic is the weave of fate, and we do these hand signals, and we do it this way, we say the words, and through it we master the forces of nature to our very command, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't work for me.
And everyone has a different connection to the weave. If your connection is the ability to bind the weave to objects or fluids, then that is equally as valid as...
That's not the way that your school saw it. Your school tried to crush that out of me to the point that I have one spell lurking at the back of my mind that I don't think I can ever unlearn. Because when I even think the word magic, it may not manifest itself in the real world, but when I'm thinking it, I have that flash in my mind. And I often think about magic. Which may explain why I'm very annoyed with you at this present moment in time.
It's very, very understandable. But I have a question for you.
Something tells me he should have left the school.
Do you think this failure would be averted if I lived longer, if I had been there? Because I now know how deeply whatever error I would have made was able to affect others.
Quite possibly, but you can't control when you're going to die. I mean, you weren't there when I was there. I went 300 or so years in the past at this point, and I don't think even you're going to. I don't think I'm going to live that long.
He kind of...
Bearing in mind that Malcator is still hovering off his chair still.
As his temper is rising,
He's rising up further and further into the room.
Rotating, yeah.
You
and he...
with every flash.
You can see that he's like starting to well up a little bit, and he kind of like wipes away the beginnings of a tear. I'm truly deeply sorry.
I'm starting to feel sorry for him.
I wish I could go back forward.
It would be, I suppose, in your future. You need to maybe not forget this conversation with me.
I will do my best not to. I will try not to forget, so that I may better your future and my past.
Well, it would be you would better my past, which I don't know if that is going to have any tangible effect on me, because we're going to be changing the timeline, which I can't experience because we're in a sort of temporal space-time anomaly, I would imagine, at this present moment.
Timey one.
Sorry to butt in, but thank you for the raid.
Aha, yes. Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you for the raid.
Hello.
With the Geek Initiative, do the things, like the stuff.
The subs, the follows, the
I
bite
just want the
bits.
story.
We're doing some high-intensity emotional shit right now. Stick around.
Anyway, back to the emotions.
Yes.
And scene.
Yes, I hope you understand. I would never do this deliberately. I would only do this if I was unable to stop it. I would never allow what affected you, which is the same sort of thing that affected me, to ever affect anyone else if I had any say in it. I do deeply promise. I will do my best to prevent it.
Good. You can start by buying me a pint.
Of
As an
course,
apology.
of course. He pulls out, he said, I don't really know how much a pint is. He gives you a gold, which is more than enough.
He thinks he's going to come back with a pint of milk, doesn't he?
Yes. He he looks at you. Well, so if I live longer, I can ensure that your education doesn't go wrong, which means that you won't be angry at me now, right?
He's going to go full vamp, isn't he?
Quite possibly. Let me put it this way. I think the timeline that I am currently on will continue to play out in such a way that the future, therefore the past, Malcador to come, who has not yet been born, might have a slightly easier time of it than me, the Malcador, in this present, therefore past reality, having come from the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one last question. If I'm to found this school within my lifetime, I presume that you wouldn't mind helping me found it. If that way we can make sure it's right together.
Could be amenable to that.
I think it would be the best course of action. I mean, that way you can personally oversee what the beginnings of the school are.
I could be amenable to such a thing.
Because alchemy is a very, very valuable part of magic. It's
very hard as well.
Yes, I know.
Much harder than that herbalist shit.
I'm no good at it.
Much harder.
I'm no good at it. No
herbalist, all they do, it just like, oh, it has a latent effect and it's not working anymore. I could melt floors. I can cause things to explode.
Have you seen that?
I can hover. Look at this shit. This is mine. This is my experimental elixirs. I can't guarantee what they're going to do all the time, but I've nailed it down to roughly 6 things that will happen every time I drink one. And that's close enough.
You never got to see the silver, did you?
No.
No. That was fun.
He
What, rat
he nods and
It's
kind
even-
of. Yes. I mean, I couldn't possibly begin to do what you do, and you can't do what I do. It's 2 different things. And he sounds like he's getting a little bit more confident because you're kind of like less antagonistic.
It was still not.
No, he's not happy.
He's not
but it was the I could be amenable to that and
Yeah.
things like that. It's closer to
It's grudging.
yeah. I think we could together found this school. It would be some years ahead. We have much more pressing things to worry about. But when the world is, a calmer place, perhaps we could work together and make sure that no one is ever failed in the realm of wizarding and alchemical academics ever again.
Well, that's bound. It will happen, but it will happen because let's put it this way: I'm not the only person that your school has failed. I managed to right myself on a sort of an even keel with being able to channel everything into my alchemical studies. But I know of some people who have gone literally insane through wanting to become wizards and being told repeatedly by your school, no, it won't happen.
Sounds an awful lot like this school was run by my father. Sounds like him. He always says that I could never be a wizard. He always said, never good enough, never as good as he would be. I refuse outright to let that become the truth of anything that I have anything to do with.
The thing is, it would have become that way had we not had this conversation. So forgive me for needing a lot more assurance from you that it's not going to still become that way despite this conversation.
I understand. And we will do our best. Sorry, I do feel rather weak all of a sudden. I must retire. It sounds an awful lot like the fighting has died down. I need to go and get a drink, I think. Apologies, but thank you for your honesty.
Now, it's been a long time coming, let's put it that way.
Quiet, like Sam kind of sits forward looks around. Evidently. I suppose we should go and see what the fuss
You
is.
can give me all as much sass as you like. You naturally can do all this stuff. Some of us have to work at it and work really hard.
But he's not.
You know how old I am now? I'm 35. I've been out of magical school for 3 years. 3 years. Right? Most other people
You are
finish at the age of 21 and they're done. But when you can't master a basic spell as an 8-year-old can master, you spend a lot of time in classes. You being all Mr. All-Powerful, I don't even know what you are, demon? A demigod? You just bestow power on whoever you want. Don't give me the sass about it being evident that it's been locked up for this long.
At this point, may I?
We have to
I was going to say,
in.
for comic book, when he mentions bestow it on anyone you wish, there's just a snip. There's like comical like sneeze, like what the hell?
I would love to burst in, just like press the like minor illusioning,
Yeah.
like some juggling balls, just coming through like. Oh,
See, look at this!
trick, guys!
Look at this shit! He can do this naturally! Like, he just thinks about it. You know what happens when I think of juggling balls? Boom!
So
There's an almighty magical flash.
And I'm carrying a tray of drinks
Yeah.
with a pint of milk on it.
I'm just kind of walking behind, like, we're going to turn to Magnus. I think some weird shit's gone on in here.
Anyway, Malkador, have you dealt with the
Yeah, but-
milk sucking weaselly little?
He's actually not too bad.
Shame.
But I learned to fly. I flew.
Magnus,
That wasn't flying.
you weren't flying, you were falling with style.
D4, come on.
I'll allow it. I will permit it.
Yeah.
But for those that are new, if any of the raiders are remaining, we do. I have a house rule, which is that if anyone makes a pun or find punishable, they take a D4 of psychic damage.
Mark's on T already.
He has already taken 2d4.
And I went to the low end and the top end.
You did. Strictly.
I need a 2 and a 3 now.
Got to collect this.
Yeah,
So,
and then I get my free coffee.
that's not how it works. So, the. You get 3d12.
To roll against someone?
No, of damage. So, the. Yes, the.
Oh wait, hold on.
So, as you're all kind of coming back into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Did I hear? I'm not the only one that heard that.
Mm-hmm.
That he turned around and said,
He said
that-
that. Mm-hmm.
Malkador,
Yes,
are you feeling okay?
yes, fine.
Have
Are
a pint.
you sure you just
What is
said
this?
It's a pint of beer.
Oh, yes, good. Yes. Literally just
Mm-hmm.
gone.
Yeah.
Literally just calls it back.
So, Sam.
Did I take a blow to the head up there?
You did.
I thought it was the ribs.
Sam's kind of looking at Malkador, kind of thinking. Like, it seems like he's contemplating.
Insight, if I know what that look means.
Go for it.
It's 9.
So you're aware that Sam
know
often makes this kind of look, this contemplation, when he is evaluating whether someone is worth living or not.
History check if this was the look that he gave me before he yeeted me through a wall.
Yes.
At that point in time, I'm just going to kind of just turn around and kind of pat Magnus on the thing, like, I think we're about to see someone else fly.
At which point he goes. Pyro walks into the room and you kind of shakes his head and his face brightens. So we are in possession of a new friend. It seems we've come to an amenable agreement.
Mm.
We are all happy to get along, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Looking askant at
I certainly
Tavrion
am.
and at Ilana.
I mean,
Well, so you I assume you
I mean,
you made up
I'm-
the scamp.
I'm I'm fine with him. To be fair, I've earned a new respect for that barkeep. He is one tough bastard.
He's not bad. He's good. I'm happy to have him on our side in a fight.
It was rather entertaining. Yeah.
So,
Oh, don't worry, we're dealing with you later. We know what you did.
It's alright, we'll have a little party later.
Sam,
Yes, just drink your drink.
Drink deep.
Sam kind of looks at you.
Delicious.
So, Elena, I intend for us to pool our resources, our knowledge, to the betterment of us all. I intend to help you master the teleportation magic that is required.
Oh, Malcador won't be much use. He can't cast spells.
I literally throw the tankard I have at Dhampir.
Oh, right.
It literally just goes flying across the room. What spell would... What check would you like?
That would just be a 19.
Yeah, 19. 19 on my dex.
In that hit, so
Yeah.
It's not
So,
got that much armor.
it's going to be a improvised weapon which you are not proficient with. So I'm going to say roll a d4.
I don't care. He just get ale all over his pretty clothes and he's ruined.
2. So it's halved because of how we're doing it. So you're taking 1.
I might have deserved that.
Are all his clothes ruined?
No, he downed it. It was empty.
Because if I had the wand in hand, you'd be on fire.
I would just say, as he
What happened
hits,
to your
there was
powder?
just a well done, sir. Well
I
done.
didn't want to. I didn't
I will
want to.
pop.
Let me put it this way: it's
I
a
could go
confined
get-
space. I'm in it with him.
I'm going to go
If we were
get him
outside, I'd
another
have thrown
drink.
dark powder at him. But in here, it's the tankard will do.
Sam kind of watches you throw it at him. I assure you all, this will be a beneficial arrangement. We shall have to go out into the fields, put the young boy through his paces, see what he's capable of. I intend to kind of looks at him. Push him a little.
Not off the edge. Right?
If that's amenable to you. And Alanaran kind of nods. Yes. I think I should be fine. Yes, I'm more than happy to help.
Magnus is going to wander over to Rengoku and just kind of put his arm to get him to lean over so I can whisper in his ear.
Yeah.
Something's bugging me. If the patrician, Cyrus, is trying to train up a wizard to do this amazing thing of being able to jump from one place to another, doing these gate things or whatever you want to call them, then he's picked a crap one. It don't make sense. I almost feel like he's setting us up.
From
Like we're putting in all the effort on this idiot and someone else is actually really the person that's being trained.
from behind you, you hear Edmund speak. Cyrus believes that a young and influenceable, anxious young man would be more controllable than a more powerful caster to begin with. At which he kind of, that's why I was stationed in the palace, to make sure the boy wasn't too corrupted by Cyrus's influence.
Ah, I see. So in case he did become too corrupt, you were there to terminate his employment.
Something to that effect.
Nice.
He kind of nods and he sort of almost blends back in with the shadow.
And I'll
That was said quiet enough that no one has heard it.
And I'm going to say back to him, I like your style in Thieves' Camp.
Like a blah blah.
No, just like a few finger signs.
Yeah.
Of, you know,
You
almost imperceptible to anybody else.
I think you told him to take that. Might take it.
He kind of leans forward so you can see him again, looks at you and goes, guess again. Then seems to, then just kind of, whilst visible, disappears.
Oh, well.
Thanks,
What time is it?
Like 11 a.m, 10 a.m.
Must be the evening by now. I'm quite tired.
Go on,
Let's just
We've
get
done a
to
lot,
it.
haven't we? We've
Well,
got a
you
busy
know,
day.
you've got to bear in mind that
Carry on.
doing so much like breathing and
Yes.
thinking,
Yes.
it's going to make you tired.
Would lunch
And therefore,
help?
I think whilst we get on with the rest of our day, you should bugger off.
Maybe, you know,
I can do
Magnus,
some reading.
Maybe we can help him into a deep sleep, if you know what I mean.
No need to be that scared.
So, Sam kind of, he seems to have taken Pyra aside and be saying something to her quietly. She smiles, nods, then turns away to leave. He turns around and says, so, shall we reconvene at the crater?
Absolutely.
Yeah, can do.
Are we sending him back?
No. We are to put the boy through his paces. I want to try and see if we can get him ready as soon as possible. I have an idea. So, I will.
Will you?
I will meet you at the crater in the afternoon, 2 p.m.
That's 3 hours from now, Tabrion.
So
You can have a nap.
It's an hour. I don't know how long this is.
I'll
And
wake you up.
I have some business to attend to in the city, but I will meet you there. So, if you guys want to take a short rest, you can spend some advice if you need to. But I don't think
How many
you
hours?
should.
How many hours is it?
You got 3. You could-
Yes.
Malcador has disappeared
Just
up to
like
his
you
room
do.
and has slammed
Yeah, I
the
could
door.
take a long rest in 4.
No, you can't.
No, I do need the holiday. No.
Rango,
Do not cite the deep magics to me. I was there and they were written.
Rango is going to go to the room
No, you won't. You ain't 30
and
yet.
meditate for a little bit.
So,
I'm gonna get close.
I
I'm
think
going to play with my scythe.
I was
I want to get a nice.
anyway, Magnus is going to go shopping and trying to find some somewhere that will sell something magical just for the hell of it.
okay.
See if he can just waste some money on
Roll an
something.
investigation check.
Okay. Cool. 17?
You get the sense that the best place to go would probably be the docks.
You'll wander off to the docks then.
As you head there, when you arrive, you find a merchant set up on what looks like an impromptu stall made of boxes. It's a grubby looking fellow.
Is he in a trench coat?
No.
He's not 3 kobolds then.
stranger.
He goes, "Oh, you're right. What can I do you for? What can I get you?"
What you got?
He goes, "We see. and gestures to the tops of the boxes. You can see what look like fish. Lots of fish.
Live fish or dead fish?
They are caught fish. They are dead. But as you're looking at them, they all seem
Fishy.
slightly off. They're not like fish you recognise. You're on thin ice.
You can't deny that if they're fish, they look fishy.
I'm sorry.
That's why I'm
sorry.
I'm letting you get away with it.
But the thing was, when he said the thin eyes comment, I didn't know if he was trying to get a pun back at you.
So, it's very clear that they are not normal. Some of them have too many eyes, some of them have too few eyes, some of them are...
These been AI generated.
Very topical, Adrian, very topical.
Or GM?
So, they, looking at them, you can see that they are clearly affected by something. And he looks in you, as you're looking at one that's got altogether too many eyes. He kind of looks at it and goes, the ones with the eyes taste better. Gooey.
Buy the fish.
I'm gonna pass.
Buy the fish.
I'm vegetarian.
Buy the fish.
Oh, vegetarian.
Yeah.
Can you roll a perception check for me?
Would 23 do it?
The fish turn to veggies.
Okay, another 23.
Mm-hmm.
You notice on one of the boxes, he kind of shuffles some of the fish. You can see under the box is a thieves' cat symbol.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And
while I'm looking, I'll just do a little hand signal and say, pleased to make your acquaintance with
he nods. You see. Yes. Each fish, you see, comes with a special bone.
Buy the fish.
How many types of fish are there then?
There seem to be 3 main prevailing types. They appear almost like a salmon with no eyes.
So they're fish.
Default.
It's worth it. It was worth it.
Fish and then fish.
Do not continue.
It'll cost you too much.
The almost like tuna with 4 or 5 eyes. It seems to vary.
He's thinking.
I'm just thinking that's too near.
And there is a single, very, very large, almost like barracuda, that has eyes almost along its entire length.
They're like 6 foot long.
Yeah.
It's a lot of eyes.
Bigger
So the
than
fish
me.
is bigger than him.
And he kind of he gestures with the hand signal for weapon over the top of the tuna, the hand signal for armor over the top of the over the top of the salmon, and then across the top of the barracuda, he kind of does a third gesture that seems to be a combination between weapon and magic.
Mm-hmm.
Buy the fish.
And are these consumables, or are they long-lasting?
Well, you see, the more you spend, the bigger the fish. the longer it lasts.
And perchance, if I was to purchase from yourself, what sort of remuneration would you be interested in?
I'm just getting above himself at the
He's getting serious.
Party here, party there. Or perhaps an upfront cost. Looking at tuna, 2 gold. Barracuda, that's looking at 15, 20 maybe. Depends on how much I want. But for you, 15.
You know you want barracuda.
The salmon, looking at another 3 gold.
You know what? I like you. I do. I like you. And I want to see you succeed. I really do. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 20 for one of each. Yeah.
He, a man of exquisite taste. He, pulls out what looks like, it's basically like a very long, thin bag. It seems like it's designed to carry poles or perhaps fish.
Mm-hmm.
And takes a fish off the stool. It's long enough to hold the barracuda. Places it within, places the next one within, places the barracuda within.
Mm-hmm.
Hand you-
Barracuda's not going to eat the other fish, is it?
They're dead.
Oh, of course.
Hands you the bag, holds out his hand, holds the bag, handles, holds out it, takes the money, pockets it, hands you the bag. When you look down into the bag, there are no fish. There are 2 weapons and a bundled roll of what seems like fabric. And he kind of nods at me. Pleasure doing business with you, sir. I shall see you around.
Yeah, I'll see how I get on with these, but if you come across anything else that's interesting, look me up, yeah? And I'll thieves' camp to him, the tavern we're staying at.
The Grey Serpent. And he kind of...
Surely he would know the Thieves Guild.
So, not every rogue is a member of the same Thieves Guild. So he nods and goes, I see you know Mr. Varley.
Oh yes.
He does so love his students. I shall see you around indeed. Can I have a perception check from you?
11.
That entire interaction, you hadn't noticed it until now, but when he was doing thieves' camp gestures, his hands were bending the wrong way.
It definitely may be AI.
And if you look deeply into his eyes, you can see almost a silhouette of like a cat pupils. He nods. Pleasure doing business with you.
Pleasure is all mine. And I will wander off happy. And I will go back to the tavern, into my room, and I will open the bag and figure out what the hell it is I just bought.
So, it appears to be a set of studded leather armour, Ooh. A short sword, very plain. And what appears to be a great sword. Much too large for someone like you.
Mm-hmm.
But the great sword in question appears to be magical in some nature.
Just trying to think who can use a greatsword. You can, but you've already got weapons, haven't you?
Greatsword could also be used by the paladin, but he also has nothing.
Graham?
Mhm.
Might be able to use a great sword.
Yeah. Maybe we'll use a short sword.
Well, the short sword is fairly plain.
Yeah.
Pretty much
Normal.
everyone.
I'm just thinking who could do with a short sword?
None of the syndicate that are missing weapons, but maybe a Lanaran could use one in close quarters if he needed it.
Yeah. I'll find Alanaran, I'll give him a short sword and say, don't hurt yourself.
He looks at it and goes, oh, thank you. Kind of gesticulates it around a little bit. He seems to be fine with it. It's not amazing, but it's like he's strong enough to hold it, and it's not like he's not in danger of taking anyone's eyes out. So.
Cool. The great sword, I will find Graham and give it to him and say,
Surprisingly, quite light, but altogether too large and unwieldy for you to use.
yeah, I'll find him and present Graham.
So Graham is in his room, passed out. He is unconscious. He has been drinking. He drank altogether too much.
I'll write a note. Leave it. Present from your favourite kobold. Yeah. And I guess the studded leather armour I will pop on. Which I think. Let me see what armour I've already got actually.
I think you've got leather armor and studded is one.
Yeah, I've got leather. So plus
Studded
plus
is one more.
to
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Quite all right. So I think we're going to call it there. With everybody taking a short rest in the tower.
Note that Rhi-koo is going to meditate and choose to stay away from the. So he's going to stay in his room meditating and stuff.
That's fine. So,
No, it's called being a parent and having responsibilities.
fair enough. So, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We are going to head out. We're probably going to try and raid someone if Adrian knows how to do that, because we only have Adrian in the booth.
I'm going to play the trailer. And while that's on, I'm going to try and figure out how.
But I think we should.
raid space channel name. I'll help.
On a
Digby
side
knows how
note,
to raid.
we should probably mention, I believe this coming Saturday.
Someone is interviewing me.
Someone is interviewing Adrian to find out more information about said trailer and what it all means for the channel.
Yes. So, but until Saturday,
We have been the Geek Initiative.
yeah,
See
we
you
have
next
been.
Tuesday.
next
And
Tuesday.
also on Saturday.
See you next Saturday.
See you
And
next Tuesday, but
Tuesday.
also a bonus on Saturday.
Zoom.
Our slogan no longer works because
We're doing too much. Bye-bye.